Italian, it's a universally loved language. French, as spoken in France. Now, I'm going to upset the next group
Oh
of people.
no.
Quebec French is an affront to human dignity.
What?
Yes, sir. I said it.
What?
Yes. It's horrifying.
I can't believe what you're saying.
Now,
This isn't an okay thing to say about the way any language is naturally spoken by any group of people. If he just said he doesn't like the way it sounds, like he did for Portuguese a little bit earlier in that segment, that would have been okay. That's a personal aesthetic preference. But to say, as he did, that the way a culture communicates is an affront to human dignity is, at best, closed-minded contempt. And coming from someone who values human dignity, which I assume is the case here, borders on hatred. It has to be called out. That is not okay against any group of people. But others have already said that, and that's not the segment I want to respond to. This is.
my wife is able to switch her French depending on whom she's speaking with. So if she's speaking with someone who speaks international French, she'll speak in a regular manner. Not Parisian French, but like an international French. I speak an international French because we're from Lebanon. When she speaks to a Quebecer, she turns into a complete Quebecer. And oftentimes I say, how did you just do that? That sounds so inauthentic.
I too can fluently speak standard international French and Quebec French and switch between the two easily. In my business dealings with francophones from around the world, I use standard international French because, in the context, that's what's easiest and best. But when I'm speaking French with people in Quebec, I prefer to use Quebec French. And that's not being disingenuous, that's because I want to communicate with them more than just words and sentences. I do it because I want to live, share, and participate with them in our common culture, of which the way we speak is an important part. And in certain social settings with francophones that I know and trust from around the world, I will sometimes choose to use the Quebec French that I know. It's an act of love, inclusion, and openness. It's the linguistic equivalent of inviting someone to my home and cooking a meal for them from my native culture to share with them. It's an act of trust and vulnerability too, because having such an important part of your identity be rejected by another person, that hurts. And just like food, it takes an open mind to receive that. Not everyone is going to like new colors and new tastes right away. But that doesn't make it an affront to humanity. It just means the person rejecting it is rejecting the other's attempt to share in that humanity. We can, and we should, do better.